What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Christmas special, year-end special episode for Weekly Dose of Dano TV with your host here, Dano. You already know, giving you the best content that you're gonna find on the internet. I promise you. If you stay for 10 minutes, you're gonna stay for the entire episode because we're gonna go all through the smiles, all the rough times like we're having right now, and everything else in between that we had here on Weekly Dose of Dano. And I'm just so grateful and honored to be able to share these experiences with you guys because without you, this would not be possible. Without the great guests that we're going to feature for this episode, this would not be possible. So I really do appreciate every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. And when I said the hard times that we're going through right now, yet again, this Apple mouse is not connecting to my Apple laptop. So I'm probably going to have to get up every, so often when it's time to play the commercial breaks for everybody, when it's time to bring on the guest and bring them out. So just to give you a warning, and a heads up. But I really appreciate you being here so much. And I need you to leave your comments, your good Christmas energy. If you can't already tell, I got my hat, I got my lights, and my stockings. Hopefully, Santa didn't bring me any coal this year. I'm not allowed to check it this year. I got to check it on the Christmas. But hopefully, there's all good and nice goodies in there. So everybody, get ready because it's time for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. And this is the year wrap up, if you want to call it that. And I'm super excited to be able to bring this to you guys. So don't go anywhere. Like, share, do whatever you have to do to raise your vibrations because it's time for the last episode of the year on Weekly Dose of Dano TV. So let me hear it, everybody. Do whatever you got to do. Let's get it. Everybody, I see you lighting it up inside of the comments. Thank you so much for being here on our year-end wrap up for the year. And thank you. I saw in there, nice hat, Dano. So thank you so much for commenting on the hat. Usually I've brought this out now for about 3 years. I think this is the third year or the second year in a row. I'm pretty sure it's third. But this hat is pretty cool because it has two different features on here. There's the nice feature, which I'll play it for you guys. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear it. Hopefully the microphone can pick it up. But I'll play the nice version for you guys, and for all you naughty people out there, there is a naughty feature as well. So let me just let me see. Oh, here's the button. So let me know if you guys can hear this. But here's the nice version or the nice feature first that they got. And so that's the nice version. But like I said, I think I got this at Spencer's, and everything that they do in there, it always throws you for a twist, right? And for my young audience out there, don't ever walk into the back of Spencer's without a parent or guardian with you. But they also have a naughty version, and this is what the naughty version is gonna say. So here it is. So yeah, he's just talking about he's super drunk and stumbly from drinking all the whiskey. So I know a lot of you guys are gonna be out there, drinking and having a good time, but just make sure you're always responsible when you are doing it. And yeah, so that is what's gonna be going on for this week and for our episode. Just be excited for all the good laughs and great times that we're about to have. So before we get started, we're gonna have Mark Hoberman come on. If you guys do remember him, he is a joy and a treat. I think he might be on the naughty list, if I'm going to be honest, but he'll let you tell him for himself. We're going to be bringing him on for the first guest. Then we have Lumbi, who is the founder of the JB Dundalo Foundation. She's going to be coming on to talk about her year and all the great things that she has going on. And then finally, we're going to wrap it up with Rico, Rico No Suave. You guys have seen him here on the show before, and you've probably seen him on the Rico No Suave talk show as well, which he has. And I'm just super excited to be here. So let's get right to it. Before I bring Mark on, I want to talk about goal setting because this is the time of year that everybody just gets so amped and everybody just, takes the new year and they want to start off on the right foot, but then they kind of, after a month maybe or after 3 weeks, they kind of, drop off. So my tips and my recommendations for you, if you have any tip setting goals or recommendations that you want to share in the comments, please feel free to do that because we all can use, some more knowledge and some more firepower to fuel the positive energy and to really accomplish our goals. But number one, we have to write our goals down. I have a whiteboard in my room, so all the things that I need to do, which is a million things a day, it seems like, anything that I need to do that's of most importance, I always write them down because that is going to give me, number one, the attention that I need to focus on to get these goals done. And then number two, there's just a special power about writing something down, just the same thing as the power of our words and the power of our voice. When we write it down and when we say it and when we claim it, it is that much easier to get that thing done, and it unlocks all of the puzzle pieces or connector pieces that goes along with completing that task, right? Because let's say if you go to the gym, eventually if you go to the gym enough and you have a, good mindset and you're working on your body, then you might get into modeling. Then for modeling, and not even that, you can be a nutritionist, you can be a coach, you can just be a good influence on somebody to get started in the gym because they might see you working out and they're like, wow, that guy really inspires me. Whatever it is, if you don't take that initial action, you're not going to go down the path of what it will lead to, right? And it's the same thing about if you never try and if you never start, you never know where it could lead you to. And that's why it's just so important just to get started with anything. I use the gym specifically because throughout the year, since we are talking about the year wrap up, I did not go to the gym as much as I would like. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm always honest with you guys, but it just was a real off year for me because for the past 2 or 3 years, I've been going faithfully, about 4 times a week, doing it consistently, feeling great. But for the past 8 months, I haven't really been going. And it was only until recently that I got a gym partner or found a new gym partner. I've just been going and feeling great. But that only happened because I wrote down that goal to say, I'm going to get, my butt back to the gym to hold myself to that standard physically that I know that I need to be at. So if you don't write down the goal to start with, you won't go down that great path and really see and live the life that you came here to live. And I know that helps with so many different things as well. It doesn't have to just be the gym. I know I said that, but I really want to hammer that point home. If you don't start that business, then who knows if you're going to achieve that financial wealth that you've been planning for and that personal growth that you want to do. So many different things. If you don't start that nonprofit, how are you supposed to help all the millions of people that you want to help? The main thing is just to get started. So remember, even though it is the end of the year, yes, you're going to start out the year very strong. You're going to be so good for those first 3 weeks. But number one, write down the goal so it can go for the entire year. Or even if it's 3 months, it's 3 months longer than what you started with. So that's one. And then number two, just make sure that the goals that we do start off with aren't too big. And I know when it comes to like smoking, right? If you just want to go absolutely cold turkey, that is possible. You are able to do it, but it's going to be a lot more challenging versus if you were to take it piece by piece and start out small. You don't have to go out there and, like I said, it can be smoking. You don't want to go cold turkey, or even if it's something like eating sugar. If you want to cut sugar completely out of your diet, you just don't want to stop and go, from the beginning of the year, not consuming any turkey, consuming any sugar. But just make sure you're taking it slow and taking it day by day. And make sure that your goals aren't too big and that they're manageable in the beginning. Now, that's not to say don't dream big and don't have that ambition and that passion to take on the world. That's not what I'm saying at all. I think when we have these, I know when we set these goals out to be a little bit smaller and tackle them bit by bit, we're able to go a lot longer and a lot further and avoid that burnout versus trying to do everything all at once in the very beginning, which is not all that great. So those are my little bit two tidbits for you guys. I will be sharing some more tips for you guys. You know how we do. We're gonna bring Mark onto the show. We're gonna bring Lumbi back on in just a little bit. But when there's the downtime between Lumbi and Rico, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys just some extra tips that you need to hear and that I think is very important for my positivity posse. So everybody, I need you to absolutely light up the comment section because we have Mark Hoberman coming on. He's gonna be talking about some new projects that he's had, some things that he's learned about himself throughout the year. So absolutely let it up for him. And I'm just gonna play, you know how we do it, the introduction or the bumper for Mark to come on, and I'll be playing all of your comments in the meantime as well. So everybody, it's time to welcome Mark Hoberman onto the show. I need to see some fire chat, something in there to welcome him onto the show. Let's see. You get to see my big beautiful face right now. Mark, how you doing?
Dano, I love your hat. It unfortunately reminds me of the dunce cap I was forced to wear in second grade at PS31. So I'm getting some bad flashbacks now, but I love the background. I love the festivities, all good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And it's so interesting how when we had our first episode, I did not see our relationship just blossoming and growing into the great relationship that we have right now. So right now, talking to you is just like I'm talking to one of my boys, and it's just so amazing.
My G, what's good, my G?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say all that, but we're working on that. We're working on the new lingo.
That's the goal. I'm gonna write down the goal, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna figure it out till I achieve it.
Yeah. Well, your goal is to figure out what the kids are saying nowadays, the lingo. I don't know if you ever seen Steve Buscemi, where I forget what movie he's in, or it's just like an episode, and he goes, "What's going on, young kids?" And he has the skateboard. Have you seen that?
I have not.
All right. Well, that's your homework. That's the goal that you got to do after this because you're gonna start laughing when you see it. But Mark, we have so much to cover in such a little bit amount of time because we have a lot of great guests coming on. But Mark, this is the year-end wrap-up show, and I know a lot has happened to you ever since the last time that we've gone live. So, what has been one of the most important things, if you had to single it to one or two things, the most important thing that you've learned about yourself this year that you didn't know about yourself last year?
Well, I think the capacity I have for growth, which I didn't know I needed as much as I did. I've grown so much and there's so much more to go. Some think of that as a bad thing. Some think of it as a good thing. But honestly, watching a show, talking to you, getting to know you, the younger generation, of course, I'm about 5 years older than you. And, so I've definitely learned that the capacity for growth, you can always do better. Be a better person tomorrow than you were the day before.
I love that. And yeah, if only 5 years. This is your 20th anniversary actually of being 5 years older than me. So
yes, exactly.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yep. I was 30 years old, just had my birthday, 30 years old, 31 years ago. So that's
nice. So everybody out there, you better get it right. Mark is still young and there's still so much to learn. There's really so many great things that I want to share with you, but there's one clip that I actually found in our previous interview that we did that I'm going to play, and it's about really starting new things and what the recipe for success is. And I know we're going to be starting a brand new project together, so I want you to tell everybody about it after we play the clip and how the clip and our project kind of go hand in hand. So I'm just going to play it right here. Like I said, my apologies, everybody. My mouse is just absolutely acting up, so I got to go to the screen, but here it is. And now everybody should have that, where you just love something so much that you just can't believe that you're actually doing it. And if there's a dream or something that you want to get started, just freaking get started. Don't worry about what's going to happen. Just know that, if you have the confidence within yourself, if you have the ability to learn and not think that you're a master from the beginning, that humble portion, and just to really have the energy to do whatever. Oh, and the last part was really have the good energy to follow everything that you want to do. And it was about starting new projects. So, Mark, can you do the honors for everybody to let them know what they should be looking forward to next year about our collaboration?
Sure. So this guy, Dano Echevarria, and I have decided to put together something. We've all been doing our own thing on the side, and two heads are better than one. And it's about time somebody who looks like Dano and someone who looks like me actually work together. The good-looking guy, that would be me, and then Dano with his hat. So we have started Two Men, One World, and I'm so stoked about this for 2024 because we're talking about character education, anti-bullying, leadership, communication skills, overcoming adversity, and a whole host of things that really, as an educator of 33 years, I know it can't all be about the academics. I think that the kids are suffering. I think that COVID put us way back as far as youth education is concerned. And Dano and I are going to really change the world, one class, one school, one district, one state at a time and beyond. So that Two Men, One World is going to be hitting a school near you in January 2024.
I love that. I love that so much. And thank you so much for, combining our efforts because like you said, now more than ever, things might be divided and just the age with the social media and the technology. I feel like there's a disconnect from even my generation. I know I am just a little bit younger than you, but
Right.
even from my generation to the next, I have a little cousin that all he does is references memes and things that he sees
Right.
online.
Yeah.
So we really need this. And thank you so much for combining our efforts because this is what we need now more than ever. And we only have a few minutes left before we have to bring Lumbi onto the show, and she's absolutely amazing. But what's one thing that you're looking forward most about 2024?
So my show, Life Stories of Mark Hoban, was also picked up now, besides E360 TV, Best Ever Channels. And that's happening in 2024. So I'm really happy about that. I'm doing a lot of my study skills for health and wellness and to reduce stress in schools. But I'm really looking forward to making change. As much as I love my programs, again, I'm so stoked about working with you and bringing a change. It's really, really rough out there for some young people. So teen suicide is up. And I want to go with the good vibes only, as it says on your screen. But, you talked before about goal setting. There's too much of a gap between goal setting and goal achieving. And I think what that is the goal roadmap. And that's something I've worked on myself also, is what is the plan? Here's the goal that you want to achieve, but that's the setting of the goal. What are you going to do? I love your one step at a time approach. So we're going to change this world with the youth one day at a time, one school at a time. So I'm really looking forward to that positivity, bringing that positivity Dano vibe out to the schools.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mark, here for being here. I really appreciate you, and I know that we joke around a lot, but seriously, thank you so much for everything that you've taught me so far, and just for coming on again, sharing your positive energy and your goals and your insights for my positivity posse because we need this, and we truly appreciate everything that, that I said that you've provided for me and provided to the positivity posse. So everybody, we got to send off Mark to go do everything that he has to do. I know it's probably past his bedtime, but he decided to
10
stay up
minutes
late
ago,
for us.
10 minutes ago was past my bedtime.
10 minutes. All right. So thank you again, Mark. And now it's time to bring Lumbi Malumbo onto the show. But before we bring Lumbi on, we just have to hear a word from our first sponsor, which is Great Success. And they are doing absolutely amazing things in the world of tutoring. So if you have a young one or a loved one, hopefully it's both, please refer them to Great Success. Go check out his website. Absolutely amazing leader, has been doing it for over 35 years and is absolutely killing it, and really changing the lives of the young people in their academics. So we're going to hear a word from Great Success, and we'll be right back with Lumbi Malumbo. So thank you again, Mark. We appreciate you.
Thanks so much for having me.
So everybody, that was Great Success. Please, if you have a young one that needs help in tutoring or just academic success, or maybe just overall mental health success, please reach out to Great Success because he's absolutely amazing at what he does. And now we have Lumbi Malumbo here on the show. Lumbi, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely amazing. And everybody, if you don't remember who Lumbi is, Lumbi, I want you to give yourself the introduction so everybody, you can give a refresher to everybody as to who you are.
Right. I am Lumbi Malambo, the founder and CEO of JB Dondolo. JB Dondolo is a nonprofit that provides access to clean water so that women and girls have the opportunities to participate in the global economies and be able to go to school, pretty much. So they call me the water lady. Sometimes a lot of people call me that because when they see me, they just run and say, "Yeah, it's a water lady." So that's me. So I am very happy to be here on this show with you, Daniel, to be on this weekly dose of Daniel. So thank you so much for having me on here.
Awesome. You already know that all the giving and all the high spirits that you give, we just love to support you to help spread your message and to help spread JB Dundelo's great works and to give you just some more visibility. But Lumbi, this is the season of giving, and you give every single day that you wake up, like you said, with the JB Dundelo Foundation, providing clean water for the young kids to be able to go to school. And I think that we could use a little bit more of that giving spirit throughout the year. So, Lumbi, can you give some tips to somebody as to how we can maybe help throughout the year and not only narrow it just to the holiday season?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's so many ways to help actually during the season. There's a lot of suffering in the world. So as you enjoy your season, whatever you see that you feel like you're going to throw away, I would say don't throw it away. Think about donating to like shelters or giving it to somebody that is homeless or doesn't have any food, hungry people. There's a lot of hungry people out there. Um, Anything pretty much that you're going to run into over the holidays. If you don't like anything that you're given a gift or anything like that, don't just put it away and say, oh, well, I don't like it. You know, think about someone who doesn't have that and just give, you know. And if you don't know who to give it out to, you can donate online. You can donate even to JB Dondolo by just going to jbdondolo.org and donate, or going to your nearest, community activity center and finding out from other people where you can donate. There's so many donation locations. You shouldn't have to look around too much. Just ask, even at the person that you may be. Sometimes you're going to a grocery store, you run into someone that you feel like maybe you don't know. Just by talking to someone, you'll be surprised what you learn. Maybe they
Yeah,
need you. So give as much as you can. Anything. It doesn't have to be money, by the way. It can be clothes, it can be anything. Just
definitely.
give.
Definitely, and we need to do that not only just for the holiday season, but just give. Maybe it can be something as simple as a compliment, right? Give a compliment to somebody walking down on the street and see how that makes you feel, and definitely look at how that makes the other person feel. Don't do it in a creepy way because they might not respond as well. But there's so many different ways to always give back. And Lumbi, going into the 2024 season, we are not sure what's going to happen. That it's the future, and we don't have a crystal ball, and we don't know what's going to happen. So, let's take a little bit look at a flashback to this year. 2022 going into 2023 was the same thing. We didn't know what was going to happen. So, can you share one of the best things that's happened to you this year in 2023?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's been a lot. I can say that, we've been really, really blessed that a lot of people are connecting with us. When I say us, when people see me, I mean, it's actually for the whole team, including you, Daniel, everybody that works for this organization. We've appeared on major media platforms, including speaking at the UN General Assembly, ONGA 78 in New York, which was truly amazing. It was our first time there, including participating on a major stage in Hong Kong at the Jumpstarter event, tech event, which is something I would have never dreamed in my life, including appearing on the NASDAQ billboard in Times Square just 2 weeks ago, which was phenomenal, phenomenal. Talk about storytelling. So that gave us the opportunity to share our story. about JB Dondolo, what we're doing, and get a lot of people to participate in our organization, ask questions. There's many things happening, including being on the cover of major magazines I never dreamed of, such as the Ambassador, the Goodwill, the Global Goodwill Ambassador edition. I would have never dreamed of that. You know, the Women's Quarterly magazine, being on the cover, just to share our story. I would have never dreamed of that.
And
And many, many more things I'm about to announce tomorrow, which I would have never even come close to dreaming about. So
all right. Well, then we'll be on the lookout for that. And I really wanted to share that because I know year has been absolutely amazing, but that's because you exuberate just that gratitude and you exuberate that energy of service to other people without really expecting anything in the return. Like, yes, in order to run a company, run a business, you need the finances, you need the people, and all those great things. But it just seems like it's going to happen to you every single time. And going forward into the next year, even more great, amazing things are going to happen. And a lot of people don't really think about the compound effect. So if this year was absolutely great, that means that next year has to be double, triple, or even 1,000 times that because of the compound effect. So what are some of the things that we can be looking forward to, or maybe some plans that you have for JB Dundalo for next year for 2024?
we can be looking at really growth of the organization so that we can think about scaling. So meaning that we're going to have more people in the organization, more partnerships, more collaborations, and working close, with the UN, in many areas. You're going to see us speaking on major platforms just to share what we're doing because we're working collectively as a team and globally together to achieve common goals that everybody's looking forward to achieving by 2030. So that's what you're going to be looking at. That's what we're going to be looking at. So we're looking at more engagement from you, from everybody to participate for one common goal. Okay? One common goal to end poverty, to come close to closing the gender equality gap, to make sure that women and girls have access to equal opportunities. That's
Definitely.
it.
And
Pretty
we're
much
excited for it.
everybody.
We can't wait to see it. We are very excited to see it. And there was one comment that Mark just mentioned, and I kind of want you to, address it because we only have a couple minutes left. He says that when it comes to writing down goals, there's a big disparity between writing it down and actually achieving them. So can you kind of give us the insight? What do we need to do to kind of bridge that gap between wishing for a goal to happen and actually making it happen? Give us some advice on that.
Okay. So set goals that are achievable. You can call them SMART goals, okay? Make it achievable and measurable. Come up with small, achievable goals that you know you will never fail, no matter what. Okay? Make it so small that you know you can achieve it the next day. And then do it in increments. Start from there, keep doing it little by little. You're going to get there. The reason why a lot of people fail is because they set goals too big.
Mhm.
It's like eating an elephant in just one sitting. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. Make your goals as small and achievable as possible so you can do it. That's how we're doing it. We're not setting like big goals, very small goals, step by step, just like a baby. That's what
Definitely,
we're doing.
definitely. And we love that because there's so many reasons why we love that. Number one, because it's the truth. And number one, once you do start to achieve those goals, no matter how small, you start to develop this positive momentum. And once you get enough positive momentum, you will start to receive things like Lumbi said earlier that you could have never dreamed and never even could have planned for. But that's because you're on a direction, you're on the right path, and that you are doing everything in the power to do your best to make sure that you are manifesting all of these great goals. So, Lumbi, just finally, I know you said you have a big announcement for us for tomorrow. Where can we go to see this big announcement, whether it's social media, your website? Tell us where we can find it.
It's probably going to be on Facebook and on Instagram and on LinkedIn.
And then
So it happened around 12 p.m. Central Time. So it's really big. So we're excited, but it's a very, very good thing. It's for the entire organization, but it actually strengthens us as we get into 2024.
definitely.
So
Oh,
we're
but you
excited.
got to tell us the name of the pages. I'm not sure. We can go on Facebook, or we're not going to be able to find your page. What's the name of your page?
You can go to JB Dondolo and also go to mine, Lumbi Malambo, one word, Lumbi Malambo. You just see it there. You can't miss it. You can't miss it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lumbi, for coming on tonight, sharing your story, and to just be that beacon of service that we can have throughout the year, not only during the holiday seasons. We appreciate you so much here on Weekly Dose of Dano TV, and I appreciate you so much for the opportunity to serve as a premium advisory board member for you and for JB Dandolo. And we're doing everything that we can to help you and your mission, and everybody for the Positivity Posse is doing everything that they can to help us. So in turn, it helps you, and we just love your passion and your dedication. Thank you so much, and we're going to be looking for an update from you in 2024 to see what things have manifested for you.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you
Awesome.
so much for having me on this show. I love it. I love it. Love it. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, no,
Merry
no worries.
Christmas,
Anytime
everybody.
you want to come on.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
awesome. So thank you so much for being here. And we're just going to play a word from Lumbi's organization, JB Dandolo, to see a little small clip about what they're doing and how they are servicing the people around the world. And after that, we're going to bring Rico No Suave on to hear more about him and his talk show and all the great things that he's doing as well. So Lumbi, thank you so much. We're going to play that commercial, and everybody, you need to welcome Rico. Do whatever you got to do, like, share, and just I got to see some fire emojis, some hearts, everything to welcome Rico onto the show. Thank you again, Lumbi.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Oh, yeah.
As a voice in all of the nations, we all need to stand up, as a voice in all of the nations. This song is a dedication to every single country in the world, maintaining all the water that we have. Let's not so for that we come for. Make sure the water is clean. Prevention is better than cure. A lot of life.
Takes a village about keeping our families together.
God bless this organization.
Thank you, everybody, so much for being here. It's time to welcome Rico onto the show. Everybody, Rico, how you doing, man? Oh, wait, I'm not. I can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. You know how it is, technology.
There it is. Boom. My fault, man. I'm so excited to be on the show today. I forgot to take myself off of mute, man.
All right, let's hear it again one more time. How you feeling today?
Man, you already know, man. Hey, from talk show host to another talk show host to sorry, Papa. I am always ready. You know, I'm always ready. Good vibes only, baby.
Always, always. Thank you so much for being here. And if you guys remember Rico's episode, you can already feel the energy that has been brewing since last time. It's been a couple of months, and we are so excited to have you back. Thank you so much for coming on today. And Rico, man, you have your own cooking show, and you have been absolutely lighting it up with that. So tell us what's on the menu for Christmas and the address that we can go to have some.
Ooh, Papa. You know, the one thing about cooking, man, is that I cook internationally. So if whatever you celebrate, I'm cooking for you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm cooking everything from, from Mediterranean to Pakistani to Hungarian to Latin America to Latin to, of course, American to Italian. Telling me Italianos,
Okay.
all of them, all of the cultures putting it together. But for this one, I'm always, when it comes down to Christmas, it's always something different, Dushari, man. It's always about something different about what I'm going to cook as far as for my family, for my mom and my brothers and sisters and everybody that's actually going to be together for Para Navidad. I'm super happy to actually just cook something special. But on the menu is on YouTube. You go into the menu. Big shout out to one of my directors that's actually on here right now, John T. for free, John Taylor from the Cooking with Rico show. Man, we cook up and they have Christmas every time we finish an episode because they get a chance to eat. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing. So yeah.
Yeah, and thank you so much for sharing that too. You got me hungry just thinking about everything that's gonna be at my Thanksgiving. We got the coquito going on over there.
Wow,
We got the
pa,
pasteles.
pa.
Yo, we got
Yes.
everything gonna be cooking it up. Hope maybe one day next year that I can actually go experience all the great cooking that you have going on. But this is a year-end wrap-up show, man, and
Yes,
I
sir.
know that you have grown tremendously from when I
Thank you.
first met you, which was only a couple months ago, to
Yeah.
here we are today throughout the entire year. So, Rico, share with somebody, well, everybody, my positivity body, watching right now. Tell us about maybe the biggest way you have grown since the beginning of the year to where we are right now.
It's about humans. It's all about humans, Papa, and it's about the connection with humans. And what I say about humans, it's the level of humans that you connect with. It's the networking that's involved. But one of the things is that I'm always practicing my art, my style. I got to keep the name going, Rico No Suave, and other areas of where I've been and what I've done from at the beginning of this year to where I'm at now. And I have to say, from going to just locals as far as with good people doing great things in the community to celebrities, and actually with NASCAR. With NASCAR this year, that's one big thing that I'm covering now. I'm covering NASCAR, and also, man, I covered NASCAR twice this year, and that was one of my biggest accomplishments from the street race here in Chicago, and then going out to Las Vegas. Salute to Las Vegas, and covering that, and they just accepting me, as far as what I'm doing, as far as a talk show host, but meeting great people, man. Think Jose from NASCAR, the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I was able to be around really great people to embrace, as far as things that I've actually done, but also being able to learn even more. And Matt Jaskell as well too. Matt Jaskell, one of the famous race car drivers, but also a skydiver as well too. But the reason why I say that is because those milestones that I had to take those risks to be able to say, you know what, let me put my name in the ballot, and then all of a sudden they pick my name and they say, Rico, we got you. Let's go. And hey, I was able to get in there and do what I have to do. And of course, to my team on the Rico No Suave show, putting the videos together and go from there. So I think that's one of my biggest accomplishments, that I made this year, alongside with just the hustle, baby. That's what we do.
Of course. And thank you so much for sharing that because just hearing about it, it just seems like you were everywhere all at once. From all of the great energy to literally being on coast to coast.
Yes, sir.
It sounds like it was an absolutely incredible, amazing journey for you. But there was one word that you just mentioned in your answer that I really want you to expound upon to
Sure.
give everybody your secret sauce or your recipe for success. And that word was risk. And when
Mhm.
you hear that word, a lot of people like to stay away from it because they think about everything that there is to lose
Yeah.
versus everything that there is to gain. So if somebody wants to take a lot of risk for 2024 for next year, tell us about, maybe 2 or 3 tips that you have to really mitigate that risk and to see it as more of a positive thing.
You know, mitigating the risk comes into if you don't take the chance of risking something that you may have a talent for or something to be able to open your talent more for other people to be able to see, you're mitigating that risk of you holding that talent back from yourself. And what happens is if you don't take that risk, even if you do fail, you took that risk to understand that next step in order to make it. Remember, there's always requirements to a risk that you're going to take. If you don't meet all the requirements of the eye of someone that don't understand you at that time, the risk is not yet to be fulfilled. So understand that when it's time for that risk to be fulfilled, that's what's going to take you to that next level of someone being able to say, you know what, we're going to take the risk of bringing you on to be able to understand how we're going to be. It's kind of like a risky business, baby. You know what I mean? Like risky business. It's like we got risky business to be able to see if I can trust you and you can trust me. And we move forward from there, So you got to take that risk, man. Don't mitigate your talent. Don't hurt your talent. Keep moving forward. You have to do it. You have to.
Yep. And I couldn't have said it better myself. The best thing that, you said it right then and there. You kind of don't know where it's going to take you. And if you don't share that talent with others, you don't know how much of an impact you'll have with other people to support other people. Right. And I know
Yeah.
for a lot of people, if you want to be able to help the world, which I think everybody wants to do,
Yeah.
for the most part, and even if you don't, that's all right. But for the people that do, you are really limiting how you can heal this world because we can heal it from the physical sense, like being a doctor,
Yep.
from the mental sense by having our, talk shows like how we do.
Yeah.
But in any way, shape, or form, when you don't do that thing that you need to do, it's kind of like you said, you're discrediting yourself, and then you
Right.
kind of, spiral in a downwards path, right? Because then you're like, oh well, I wasn't able to do that. Then you have low confidence. Then with low confidence, you have a bunch of different things that we don't want to experience. So just go out. You never know what could happen. And
Exactly.
that thing that you're very scared to do will be the thing, I promise you, that'll propel you to live a life of purpose, gratitude, and just really an abundance of great things that I can't really fit right here speaking about it in 2 minutes. But
Yeah.
Rico, in 2024, I know I have a bunch of big plans going on. I have a bunch of big goals that I know that I will achieve. And I don't care who tells me otherwise because I'm not going to listen to them anyway. But
Right.
what can we expect from Rico No Suave in 2024?
Man. It's, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have enough time, but what I will tell you is keeping the good vibes. That's one thing I'm definitely going to be doing, And the more I look at the screen, right, and I'm looking at you, right, you got the vibe going on. I forgot to compliment you on that. That's
Thank you.
that I like the hat. I like the vibe.
Thank you.
The one thing about keeping it going with good vibes is keeping my karma on 100, keeping my in a positive way. In 2024, because of the character, and I kind of talked about this with a young lady yesterday that was a producer of Fresh Prince of Bel Air and Bad Boys. She was on my show, and the one thing we talked about was equity within your talent. Equity within my talent is going to build my value continuously through 2024 and beyond. You're definitely going to see me on TV. You're definitely going to see me on that next level of all of the blood, sweat, and tears that I put into, going into my seventh year, right? Going into my seventh year as a talk show host. You're definitely going to see me out there doing a lot more of red carpet events. You're going to definitely see me as far as hitting the scene even more. And Rico No Suave show, you're going to actually hear the name even more. So my ultimate goal for 2024 is to understand where I need to maintain to stay humble. Key. Everybody that's in this chat right now, Janet Ramos, Lueche Ramos, John T for Free, Ryan, Manuk, whatever that name is, but I love it. Those are the people that's going to help you continue to grow, and also for you to be able to maintain your humbleness, right? Those people that actually reach out to you, you reach back out to them, right? And you continue to keep that humbleness. Because once you start losing your people and you're just not paying attention to the people that say, hey, keep going, let's do it, those are the people that you really need. But those are also the people that you want to actually have in your life to say, hey, party, Cooking with Rico show parties at my house, right? Let's get it on, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's just how it works, man. That's what you're going to see a lot from me for next year.
Definitely. And I just want to touch on one thing before we let you go. And it's what you said is just so key in the role of success. And it's about doing things for the right reason. And you just mentioned people specifically, right? I know a lot of people, they'll get angry and they'll have an experience happen with them. And they'll say, oh, well, I'm going to show that person, my teacher that said I wouldn't be anything back in 5th grade, I'm going to show her, or my ex, whatever goes along with that, I'm going to show them. And the dominant vibration is they want to get kind of revenge, and they do it from a place of anger. But you, as you just mentioned, the names of the positivity posse of everybody commenting and the people that you've been collaborating with, you're doing it from an angle of passion and from an angle of connecting with other people, and not doing it from a place of anger. So always remember that too. Whatever you do, don't do it as a form of trying to get back at somebody or doing it from the negative energy. Do it from the sense that you want to see all of the fruits of your labor really pay off, and you want to experience all of the great things that life has to offer, because you're doing it from a positive sense. And we all know that's all that we're going to attract for next year as well. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. Rico, I really do appreciate it. You have the support of the Positivity Posse from whatever you need. Thank you for coming on again. And we'll be talking soon. And to everybody, we only have a few minutes left. But everybody, say bye to Rico and thank him so much for being on here. Rico, what do you have to say to everybody before you go?
Everybody, happy holidays to you. Everybody, continue to stay positive. Make sure you keep your positivity going. And just to add a little bit more, I'm sorry, just one thing that you said. If there is somebody that does say that you can't do it, not vengeance that's going to actually happen in regards to you saying, I'm going to make it, I'm going to throw it back into their face. What you do and your actions and your talent will show them how well you do when you get to that point. So everybody keep that positivity going. Happy holidays. Tu sabes, man, it's a parranda. We got to go to that parranda, for the holidays. So thank you guys so much. And thank you, Papa. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Thank you for coming on, and we appreciate that. So we'll be talking soon, and we're just going to play one quick commercial, and I'm going to give my closing remarks to you guys, to my Positivity Posse, and it's going to be a great one. So thank you again, Rico, and here's a word from our last sponsors.
Dale.
Navigate the legal and emotional journey of divorce and exit a marriage the way you entered it.
Everybody, thank you so much. I had a quick glance at all of the great comments that you have left, and I just felt the energy, I felt the positivity, and we are going to carry all of these great spirits all into 2024 as well. And I know a lot of people say that, next year is going to be my year, but it really starts right now. And I know I have set so many great things in my life for this year to set me up for 2024. As you heard about, one of the things, I'm going to be partnering up with Mark Hoberman to do the, 2 Men, 1 World. Best Ever Channels is possibly going to pick up Weekly Dose of Dano TV as well. And all of the great things happen right now. So whatever it is that we want to experience for next year, just please set the intention now, write down the goals, get your affirmations in, and read all of the positive content to see how we can make things happen, how we can make our goals happen, and how we can make our dreams happen. But like I said, I felt all the great comments, and you guys, I just had to let you know I'm here to support you guys, and I know you're here to support me too as well. So in 2024, I hope to see the comments just absolutely lit up with goals that we wanted to achieve for the next year, and that actually happening. Because we do deserve it. Whoever it is, I don't care what you've gone through. I don't care what you've done. Everybody deserves a chance to actually achieve all the great things that they come on this earth to do. And it will happen with the support of one another as well. So thank you, everybody. That was Weekly Dose of Dano for the year-end wrap-up episode. And we are booked out, actually, just to let you know, about 3 months in advance. So, we're going to have 3 months next year, guaranteed. It's going to be the whole year, but at least 3 months of just absolutely star-studded celebrities, experts, and professionals come on to share their story with you, my positivity posse, to help us achieve everything that we've set out to do and we will do. So everybody, have a great, great Christmas. Have a great holiday season. If I don't see you before New Year's, and please remember to stay safe out there. And I will see you next year for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Everybody, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and stay blessed as well. I'll see you next year. Let's go! Let's see if this wants to work. Let's see. 1 second. My closer, hold on. Here it is, everybody. My mouse hasn't been working, as you already know. Oh, here.